There is a frozen outpost on Earth where the ocean freezes solid for 10 months of the year, and residents must constantly guard against roaming polar bears in the pitch black of the polar night. Our world is full of extreme, isolated communities that seem to belong on another planet. These are human settlements trapped behind vertical cliffs, carved directly into volcanic rock cones, or hidden deep inside dense jungle valleys. But nothing compares to the mystery at our number one spot. How did builders construct an entire medieval fortress city on a giant, isolated rock plateau that remains completely invisible from the mainland coast? The answer to that incredible architectural puzzle lies at the very end of this video. We are taking a deep dive into these extreme remote areas to uncover the mind-bending reality of extreme human survival, including a legendary cliffside stronghold that completely rewrote the rules of defense. Our journey begins deep in the Himalayas at Paro Taktsang, famously known as the Tiger Nest in Bhutan. This sacred temple complex hangs on a cliff 3,000 feet above the Paro Valley. According to ancient stories, a holy guru flew to this mountain on the back of a tigress to defeat local spirits, and by the late 1600s, monks built a full monastery directly against the vertical stone. Every single piece of wood, every heavy stone, and all supplies had to be carried up by hand or on the backs of animals along treacherous mountain trails. The sheer engineering required to build and maintain these structures without cranes or heavy machinery is a testament to human determination, turning a barren rock face into a spiritual sanctuary. The physical demands on the inhabitants are endless, as daily tasks require traversing vertical steps that test human endurance at every single turn. Moving from the thin air of mountain peaks to the dense, misty canopy of a tropical forest, we travel south to Waerebo village in Indonesia. Located on the island of Flores, this ancient village is completely hidden inside a circular valley surrounded by thick jungle mountains. The people here live in unique cone-shaped houses made entirely of wood and thatch, built to hold several families under one roof. To reach this settlement from the nearest road, you must complete an intense 3-hour hike through dense rainforest, crossing slippery logs and navigating steep, mud-covered slopes. Imagine living here as a small child before any modern paths existed. A massive tropical storm hits. Someone gets desperately sick. The only way to reach help is not a road, not a car, not even a boat, but a dangerous climb over a mountain path while the thick jungle canopy catches the pouring rain and the mud threatens to slide down the mountain. The community survives by relying completely on each other and the surrounding forest, keeping a hundreds of years old lifestyle alive while the modern world completely passes them by. Leaving the tropical jungle behind, we climb back into Asia's highest peaks to visit Karimabad in Pakistan. Tucked away in the stunning Hunza Valley, this town sits under the shadows of giant mountain peaks that rise over 24,000 feet into the sky. For a long time, the only way into this valley was through narrow mountain paths that were regularly obliterated by sudden rock slides and rushing glacial rivers. The people of Karimabad overcame this extreme environment by carving intricate water channels directly into the mountain rock to bring melting glacier water to their terrace farms, turning a harsh desert valley into a green, self-sustaining oasis. This sophisticated irrigation system supports orchards of apricots, apples, and walnuts, which form the bedrock of the local diet. The isolation preserved their distinct culture, language, and legendary longevity, showing how absolute geographical detachment can sometimes foster an incredibly resilient and healthy civilization. From the towering peaks of Pakistan, we travel to a completely different kind of geographic wonder in Europe, arriving at Castellfollit de la Roca in Spain. This village is built on a narrow basalt cliff that is over 160 feet high and about half a mile long. The cliff was formed thousands of years ago when two separate flows of molten lava cooled and hardened into solid rock, which was then eroded by two surrounding rivers. The houses here are lined up right on the very edge of the precipice, looking as if they could tumble into the canyon at any moment. Imagine living here during an intense earthquake or severe cliffside erosion event. Your entire house stands on a narrow strip of hardened volcanic remnants, and the window of your bedroom looks straight down into a crashing river chasm. space is incredibly limited, and the residents have spent generations living with a sheer drop right outside their back doors. If you look down from the ancient stone walls, you see a vertical drop straight into the riverbed below, a constant reminder of how these villagers traded open land for absolute security. If you are enjoying this deep dive into Earth's most hidden corners, kindly like the video and subscribe to the channel so you never miss our upcoming adventures. Now let us cross the European continent to the car-free mountain village of Mürren in Switzerland. Perched on a cliff ledge nearly 5,000 feet above sea level, this village looks down on a sheer drop into the Lauterbrunnen Valley. Because there are no public roads leading up to the village, cars are completely banned, leaving the air pristine and the streets quiet. To get to Mürren, you must ride a massive cable car suspended high above the valley or take a historic mountain railway line. The residents must navigate the steep, icy streets on foot or using small sleds, maintaining a quiet, traditional alpine lifestyle while surrounded by towering walls of solid rock and massive glaciers. This lack of road access means that even today, large building projects require transport helicopters to ferry heavy materials up the cliffs, turning basic modern construction into an expensive and complex logistical operation. From the snowy peaks of Switzerland, we head north into the deep frozen expanse of the Arctic, arriving at Ittoqqortoormiit in Greenland. This is officially one of the most remote towns on the entire planet, sitting on the edge of the world's largest fjord system. For 9 to 10 months of the year, the surrounding ocean is completely frozen solid with thick sea ice, making it impossible for ships to approach the coast. Imagine living here during the darkest months of the polar night when the sun does not rise for weeks at a time. The sea ice isolates you completely, and the temperature outside drops so low that exposed skin freezes in minutes. If the local power generator fails or fuel reserves run low, there is no backup network to plug into. Food and fuel shipments only arrive by boat twice a year when the ice thaws for a few brief weeks in the summer. If a ship is delayed by floating icebergs, the town must strictly ration its supplies, relying on traditional hunting of seals and polar bears for survival in a land where the elements rule supreme. Moving away from the frozen north, we travel south to the sun-drenched cliffs of Santorini in Greece. While many people know this island as a famous holiday destination, its original villages were built entirely out of a need for extreme isolation and defense. The iconic white houses are stacked precariously along the rim of a massive volcanic caldera hundreds of feet above the dark Aegean Sea. Before modern tourism brought airports and ports, the villages at the top of the cliffs were incredibly difficult to reach. The only way up from the water was by climbing hundreds of steep, winding stone steps by hand or on the back of a donkey. The cliffside position was a life-saving shield, giving the villagers plenty of time to retreat into their narrow, maze-like stone streets where outsiders would easily get lost. The volcanic soil made farming difficult, forcing the locals to collect morning dew and rainwater in underground cisterns just to survive on their dry, isolated cliffs, creating an intricate web of hidden water storage systems beneath the streets. From the volcanic islands of the Mediterranean, we journey to the lush green mountains of Southeast Asia to explore Batad in the Philippines. This village is world famous for its amphitheater-like rice terraces, which were carved into the steep mountainsides by hand over 2,000 years ago. The village sits at the bottom of a massive bowl of green ridges, completely disconnected from the national road network. To reach Batad, you have to drive to a remote mountain pass and then hike for an hour down a steep, narrow trail made of dirt and uneven stone steps. Imagine living here as an elder whose joints are failing. Every bag of harvested rice, every medical supply, and every household item must be carried on human shoulders up and down thousands of stone steps that twist along the edges of vertical mud walls. The village survives through this intense community bond, maintaining an ancient agricultural system where human muscle power completely replaces machines, ensuring that the ancient traditions of stone wall maintenance are passed down from generation to generation. Next, we travel westward to the fascinating cave village of Kandovan in Iran. Located in the northwest part of the country, this village looks like a giant, prehistoric anthill carved into the side of a mountain. The homes here are not built out of stone. They are dug directly inside volcanic rock cones that were formed by ancient eruptions of a nearby volcano. The thick stone walls provide natural insulation, keeping the rooms cool during the scorching summer months and trapping heat during the freezing winter. The paths between these cave homes are incredibly steep, narrow, and uneven, completely blocking any form of modern vehicular traffic. The isolation has allowed the villagers to preserve a unique lifestyle that dates back hundreds of years, living inside the literal bones of the earth, where multi-story cave apartments feature hand-carved windows, doors, and storage closets directly inside the ancient volcanic ash formations. Our next destination takes us deep into the heart of South America, to the sprawling city village of Iquitos in Peru. This is officially the largest city on Earth that cannot be reached by a single road, completely surrounded by the dense Amazon rainforest, winding rivers, and swampy terrain. The only way to reach Iquitos is by taking a multi-day journey on a riverboat or by catching a flight into the local airport. Inside the city, the streets are filled with the loud buzz of thousands of three-wheeled moto-taxis, which are shipped into the jungle piece by piece. Imagine living here when a major river drought occurs. The massive Amazon River drops significantly, grounding the large barges that carry fuel and medicine to the city. Prices skyrocket overnight, and the community is left completely stranded in the middle of the dense jungle canopy, relying entirely on local rainforest resources and small airplanes to survive until the heavy tropical rains return to flood the river basins once again. Finally, we travel back to Greece to explore our #1 location, Monemvasia. As we teased at the very beginning of our journey, this is a breathtaking medieval fortress village built entirely on the back of a giant rock plateau that rises out of the Mediterranean Sea. The rock is completely separated from the mainland, connected only by a short, narrow causeway that was built in modern times. From the mainland coast, the village is completely invisible, hidden behind towering stone cliffs that drop straight into the crashing waves. For centuries, the only entrance into the town was through a single, heavily guarded wooden gate built into the thick fortress walls. This total hidden isolation made Monemvasia one of the most secure sanctuaries in history, surviving countless military sieges because attackers simply could not find a way up the sheer stone face, altering the rules of human defense by turning an unreachable geographical feature into an impenetrable stone bubble where life remained completely unchanged for generations. If you want to see more mind-blowing places where humans have done the impossible, click right now on the video appearing on your screen to see 10 villages that nobody believes actually exist. See you there.